Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hogue, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
I'm AJ Hogue, author of Effortless English, Learn to Speak English Like a Native. Join my VIP program, commit to my VIP program today, now, at effortlessenglishclub.com. Go to effortlessenglishclub.com to speak English fluently. You speak English powerfully. You speak English confidently. You speak English effortlessly. When you commit to my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com. The speaking challenge is finished. Yesterday, well, 2 days ago, actually, that was the last day, April 30th. So we're going to just chat today about your experiences with the speaking challenge. We'll review the board, it's called the leaderboard, to see just who got the most hours. I know some of you guys did a lot of hours. This one was really your challenge because I didn't do it this time. So I'm quite impressed and quite eager to hear about your experiences during the challenge. So why don't we just jump right over there and take a look? If you're watching on video, I will share my screen. Here we go. Log in. Okay, let's start with, let's do shadowing first. The shadowing challenge. And there we go. Okay, so here's our top. We'll do the top, 12. How about that? So Alexander Belyakov, I just saw his very nice post from him on my Gab account, gab.com. He is #1 for the shadowing challenge. He had 480 hours of shadowing in 3 months. That's a lot. As any of you know who have done shadowing, it takes a lot of concentration, a lot of focus. 480 hours of shadowing is fantastic. Alexander, congratulations to you. Really fantastic. That's amazing. Good. Just awesome. You rock. #2 is Sven with 479, one less. That's also incredible. Sven was also... both these guys did great with the listening challenge as well, the one we did last time. Michel Gerbe, 475 hours of shadowing, also amazing. Saif at #4 of 397 hours. So those four had just a huge amount. 397, 475, 479, and 480. That's just a lot of shadowing. If any of them are joining us live today, I'm curious. I hope you will write your comments and tell us your experience. What was it like doing all of those hours shadowing? And this also goes for everyone else that I'm about to name. Vladimir Medvedev, 178 hours of shadowing, which is still a lot. That's a lot. Jarmila, who's usually with us, 156. Julia Takita, 155 hours. Sarah, great, 154 hours. Great. Erdem, 136 hours. Slavika, fantastic, 116 hours of shadowing. Farak DZ, 113 hours of shadowing. Rosemary Camilla, 104 hours of shadowing. And then finally, Serene Feng, 101 hours of shadowing. Wow. So all of those people had over 100 hours of shadowing in the last, it's over an hour a day, every single day for 3 months. Very impressive. We say hats off, means kind of respect and congratulations. Hats off to you. Very well done. Now let's go over to our conversation. So remember, shadowing is that technique where you're listening and speaking at the same time, listening to an audio, and then you're copying, you're speaking along with the audio, right? Copying what the speaker's saying. You're trying to do it simultaneously, exactly at the same time. Of course, you'll be behind the audio a little bit, but it takes a lot of concentration because you're listening and speaking and trying to copy the pronunciation of the speaker all without pausing. So it's not easy, and that's just impressive. All those hours of shadowing, very, very, very impressive, you guys. So the next part, the other speaking challenge we had, so we had two, right? The other one was conversation. Now the rules of this one were that these are hours talking to real people, right? Not talking to a mirror, not shadowing, right? But talking to another person in English. And again, we see some pretty huge hours here, huge numbers of hours. So this time it's Sven and Alexander at the top again. So these guys were living and breathing English all day, every day. Speaking English, either shadowing or talking with people. So again, fantastic. Sven with 478 hours, Alexander Belyakov with 469. And those two guys just had giant numbers of hours. Then we have Slavik at number 3. Wow, 198 hours. Pedro Oliveira, 193 hours. Arzen Mamun, who I think was number 14 on the shadowing too, has number 5, 175 hours of conversation in English. Zobede, lots of familiar names here, 173 hours. Sarah again, 166 hours of conversation, talking with other people. Serene Feng again, 161 hours. Abraham Ali, 159 hours. Asma, 128 hours. You recognize a lot of these names if you listen to the show. Julia Takita, 115 hours. Lisa Bognar, 103 hours. I'll do the next two. Pramod at 101 hours. And then we had Adam Baki at 91. So that's fantastic. Now I know that just because on Gab I saw you all talking to each other, that many people in this top 14 here of conversation, they actually formed a Skype group, and so a lot of these people were talking to each other. Obviously, they were talking to each other a lot in English. And again, I know, many of you are definitely going to, we have many of our regular listeners here who join during the live show. So I'm looking forward to you also talking about your experiences with the conversation challenge, doing the conversation part. What did what was difficult? What did you like about it? What were the benefits? All those things. So that's what I'm just going to jump right into those of you who are, to the comments, because as I said, I didn't do this one. I had planned to start doing it, and then I got busy with other things, mostly my children. And so anyway, it's really your challenge. So you are the ones I want to hear from. And also, by the way, if you were not on one of those leaders that I just mentioned, if you still did the challenge, please put in your comments. And even if you didn't do the challenge, if you've tried to have conversations or do shadowing, share your experiences as well. Okay, so you don't have to be one of the leaders to talk about the topic. I'm just very curious because those people did such a large number of hours. Makes me very curious. All right, let's get into our live comments. I've got them just open today since I know some of the people who did the challenge are not YouTube supporters. So I want to give everyone who did the challenge a chance to comment today right away. Oh, yeah, someone said they tried to join the challenge yesterday. Yeah, it was already over. It ended April 30th. Ended the last day of April. So you just missed it. You can always do your own. Just, on your own. Do as many hours as you can. Hey, Julia, good to see you. Nice to see you, as always. And many of the names I just mentioned are with us. Good. Ilana Khan, hello to you as well. Elena, good to see you. Okay. All right, I'm just going to jump ahead now. And hey, Lisa, good to see you. And let's get into some comments about the challenge. Well, here's a question. Bilal says, can you recommend some resources for shadowing? I'm not sure, what do you mean? Do you mean how to do shadowing? Or do you mean audios to use for shadowing? Audios, you could use this podcast if you want to. Anything in English by a native speaker is fine. So it's if you're just starting shadowing, probably something a little bit slow would be good. A slower speaker, someone who's doesn't naturally speak fast. I'm a fairly slow speaker myself. I'm a fairly slow speaker. All right. Good sunshine in the UK, says Chimak. Nice. I think that's rare there, isn't it? All right. Okay, I'm going to jump to the bottom. Deepak, good to see you. Madi, good to see you. Oh, cool. Well, this is nice. Ibrahim Ali says, 2 days ago, I talked with Mehdi from Iran. He told me to say hi to you, AJ. Great. Mehdi is one of our long time members, fans, supporters, very, very active, super enthusiastic. I think he's been busy with some other things the last several months, but always great to hear from him. Ibrahim Ali, if you see him or talk to him again, please tell him I said hi. It's always nice to hear from him. It's more of a general question. I'll answer it while we wait for more comments and questions connected to the challenge. Momin Jonov. I have a question. I've learned English grammar a year. After watching your videos yesterday, I decided to learn without grammar. I mean, with your methods. Where should I begin? Lots and lots of listening. Tons of listening. That's the main thing. And then add in some reading. If you want a more detailed answer, just sign up for my free email course on my website. If you're watching on the screen, it's right here, effortlessenglishclub.com, that same website. If you go to the bottom of the page, put your email, you'll get a bunch of emails from me that, each one will give you a tip or an idea. If you want a little more detail, you can get my book, which is on Amazon and Kobo.com. It's just called Effortless English by AJ Hogue. And that'll give you even more detailed plan of exactly what to do. But my short answer is just listen, lots and lots of English every day. You can listen to this podcast, you can listen to other podcasts, and then do that for a few months, I'd say, just a huge amount of listening every day. And then start reading some books as well in English, books and audiobooks. As your vocabulary grows, as your listening gets better, you'll be ready to grow your vocab, and books are the best way to do that. Cool. Madavi says, I'm shadowing you every day when I'm listening to you. Is this the same? Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. That's shadowing. Good. You can use this show. You can do it when we're live if you want. Yeah, why not? It's challenging, right? If you do it with the live show, it means you're hearing it for the first time. Yeah, it's going to be challenging. Shadowing's not easy, especially the first time you hear something. So good for you. Sarah said this. Okay, so Sarah did well in both parts, the shadowing and the conversation. She said the speaking part is the most interesting and useful part of this challenge. So by speaking, I'm guessing you mean the conversation, right? Chatting with others. It makes sense. The nice thing about the shadowing is you can do it alone, so that it has that convenience. But I think actually having a real conversation with someone is by far more interesting Manish says, I'm a new VIP member. Are there any new challenges coming? There will be. I'm not sure what we're going to do next. I'll think about it. What kind of challenge should we do next? But we'll do something. Yeah, Lisa says scheduling the chat time with other people was sometimes difficult because of the time zones. Right. So if you had an international group, some people made Skype groups, conversation groups. People were in all different countries and time zones. Yeah, it can be challenging. That's for sure. I have the same problem when I have to have a business meeting online or things like that. A lot of times I need to talk to people in America, sometimes in Europe, or even just friends. I have friends in all these different parts of the world, and it can be a little challenging. Natalia says, 100 hours. It's more than 1 hour every day. I don't speak so much in my native language. Right, I know. Most people don't. Most people, just like nonstop talking. Right, like with shadowing, you are the only one talking. So over an hour a day, that's just you talking nonstop for an hour. Most people don't do it. I only do it because I do this show. So this is the most talking I do during the day. But the rest of the time, it's not so much. So yeah, it's true. It's quite a lot. It's great. Ilana Khan says, for me, the most important part of the challenge is the commitment, the resolve to evolve. Nice phrase. Now shadowing is definitely part of my English routine. That's fantastic. That's great. Yeah, I think shadowing is, I personally like shadowing. There's some people don't like it, don't like doing it, which is fine. But I like it in certain amounts. I like it. Leonardo Parigi says, I'd like to talk a lot, but I don't know where I can find people. I tried on Gab. I didn't receive too much response. Huh. Well, I guess, just keep trying on Gab. Form a group yourself. Just say I'm making a conversation group on Skype. Choose a certain number of people, whatever it is. 5 people. I'm looking for 4 more people. Looking for 5 people who really want to chat every week in English. And post it, maybe post it every couple weeks. You could post something like that until you fill your group. That's what I would recommend. La 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 la. Na 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 na. Here's someone in Japan. Kumba. Where are you living in Japan? I didn't know you were in Japan. I live in Tokyo. I live in Osaka. I'm in Osaka. So, konbanwa. Okay, Ilana Khan says, I found that lessons from Power English and the pronunciation course worked best for me with shadowing and increased my deep learning, and I feel more confident and relaxed as I speak English. Excellent. That's great. That's a nice summary. Yeah, I'm not surprised about pronunciation course because those lessons are really designed for shadowing. So there's a slow speed and a fast speed for each audio. Those are really made for shadowing because shadowing is part of the pronunciation course. So that's great. And then Power English, yeah, any of the lessons, you can choose which ones you like. The mini stories and the point of view stories are going to be simpler with a lot more repetition, which will probably also make them easier to shadow. Cool, good. Deepak Sarkar says, for the challenge, I have made some friends all over the world and having a good time with them sharing things. Thank you, Coach. That's great. I know that this is true for a lot of people, and that's the best part to me because that's one of the main reasons people learn English is it's the international language, and so it's to connect with people in lots of different countries around the world. So how great is it to do that? It's really good. Hamid says, I started practicing English with native speakers with more confidence. Great. This is because of the job you've done and still do for our community. Excellent. Well, that's fantastic. If you can talk to native speakers, excellent. Malik says, our best teacher. When I'm talking to someone by chat, I feel good and my English looks better. But if I speak, it's awful. I'm forgetting lots of things. Well, yeah, because speaking is faster, right? There's no time. If you're chatting, meaning text chatting, you can pause for a minute and think, what do I want to say? And then give your response. So everything's slowed down, which makes it easier. So that's why it makes sense. It's nothing to worry about. It'll get better. Abraham Ali says, should I finish the Power English course before joining VIP? Yeah, probably. Just go ahead and finish it. Alita says, so many people watch Friends, the TV show Friends. They think it's useful and good for pronunciation. What do you think? I mean, from what I remember, the pronunciation is basically standard American pronunciation, so that part is true. But there's a lot of like weird little jokes, and it's okay. It's probably okay. For English. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not bad if you like it. Okay, I mean the key point with anything like that is, yes, it's your concern is good. You want to be sure is the English kind of standard modern English, right, with good pronunciation. So yes, you want that, but that's most shows. Most TV shows will have that. So then the next question becomes, do you like it, right? Is it interesting to you? Do you enjoy the listening to it again and again and again? If you like it, then great, use it. But if you don't like Friends, if you think it's, whatever reason you don't like it, then try something else. You could do movies, you can do audiobooks, you can do, there's a huge number of things out there. So it's very, very important you keep your motivation high. And that means you need to enjoy what you're listening to. So that would be the main issue. The main thing in terms of Friends. I know that a lot of people focus on that show. I don't know why, because I get that comment a fair amount. I see it a lot, that TV show specifically is mentioned a lot. I don't know why. It used to be popular way back in the 90s or something. So I don't know why now people still talking about it, but there's nothing all that special about it. There's nothing special about the English in that show. Abasad says, I want to learn Japanese. Is it easy? Not for me, it's not. No, I would say it's not easy. It's just generally not easy, right? I guess if you are Chinese, it would be easier if you can read the kanji. That would help a lot. So Chinese, Taiwanese, a lot of Koreans, they know kanji, the characters. That would be very helpful for learning Japanese. Otherwise, most people tend to find it fairly difficult. Oh, cool. Elena says, I also love real speaking, like face-to-face, not virtual. I live in Ireland, so I have the opportunity to talk to people when I want. Excellent. They say my English is good, even if I know I still make mistakes. Fantastic. Yeah, I agree. That's the best situation, right? To be in a country where people speak English and be speaking to people face-to-face often is wonderful. That's a great situation you have there. Very good. Lisa says, during the challenge, my language skills improved almost imperceptibly and effortlessly because I enjoyed each conversation very much. And that's how I like it too. That's how, from the point of view of a teacher, that's what I like to hear from students. I like that they're not too focused on, they're not too obsessed or crazy about English, that they're so excited about talking to people or listening to interesting things or doing things in English. And they kind of almost forget about their level. They forget about worrying, am I getting better or not? And the improvement just kind of happens sort of automatically, but in the background. And I think that's great because it's so much more enjoyable, and then you just keep going. I think that a lot of people who focus too much on their level and am I getting better or not, and they're constantly focused on that, then they kind of lose their motivation. They're adding too much stress to the process, and they'll tend to burn out. Right, meaning they'll lose their motivation. Okay, so here's another TV show you could use for shadowing or just listening. Juan Alarte says, I like to watch Chicago PD. Now, I don't even know that show, but I'm guessing it's kind of just a cop show. What do you think about this TV show? I've never seen it. I never even heard of it. But, I'm guessing it's kind of, these kind of shows are very common, these kind of police shows. So I'm sure it's fine. Set in Chicago. I don't know. One thing you'll see, like most television shows, they don't use regional accents. There might be some exceptions to this, but let's say there's a show that's like NYPD Blue, I think was an old one, or something like that. It's supposedly it's in New York, but they don't actually use strong New York accents in the show. Probably because the rest of the country doesn't like the accent. So they tend to, even if a show's set supposedly in a location like the South or New York or Chicago, they normally won't use those strong accents. They'll just use the standard American. So it's most of the time it's fine. It's a cop show. Yeah, I figured. That's fine. Oh, Ruslan says, I live in Chicago. I'm curious to watch it. There you go. That'd be kind of fun if you live there. They might see at least some of the landmarks, right? That could be fun. Here's Jarmila. I love shadowing, and as I'm very inquisitive, I've been shadowing shorter stories with casual topics about our world with Spotlight English, and with you, AJ, as well. Great. Fantastic. Very, very, very good. Felix Castro, welcome. Thanks for supporting the show. Appreciate it. Cool. Ahmad Farouk says, you changed my life. I became friends with people around the world, and I made my first English tutorial on YouTube yesterday. Very nice. Good. Tata says, I didn't follow the challenge, but I chatted with Effortless English family members who needed it. It was such a pleasure helping them go through the path that I passed myself a time ago. Very nice. That's good too. Yeah. So you just chatted with people and enjoyed connecting, even if you're not doing the challenge, right? Not counting the hours. You don't have to. And the challenge is over, but hopefully a lot of you will continue chatting with each other and continue doing these things. Abramane says, the speaking challenge has been a nice experience. I truly enjoyed conversing with Effortless English members. To me, it didn't feel like a challenge. It was an experience by which I made many friends worldwide. Fantastic, right. And that's a great benefit, right? Really great. Interview suggestion, Sadhguru for yoga. I've seen I haven't watched his videos. I know of them. I'll check him out. Ramesh. Hi, Ramesh. Ramesh Minasabak says, I did my shadowing with Power English course and mostly VIP lessons. Great. Yeah, I definitely understand that the lessons would be easier for shadowing than some other material. They're kind of more designed to be used in that way. Anis is recommending, basically, that's interesting. Read a book, do a camera summary without making mistakes. No, I don't like that part. And limited time. I don't want you worrying about making mistakes. It'll destroy your fluency if you're constantly worried about making mistakes. Don't worry about being perfect. Like I'm just speaking right now to you live, right? I make mistakes sometimes when I talk to you. Because I'm talking for an hour every single day live, right? So it's going to happen sometimes. And of course, I'm a native speaker. So for you, it's definitely going to happen. There's nothing to worry about. Cool. Deepak says, I've been listening to AJ from January 2020, so this year, as much as I can, and now I'm able to speak more confidently. Listening works. Excellent. Zobade is saying, I love Friends. They're in their 20s and early 30s. Many people can relate to the situations. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I think they have New York accents. No, I don't think so. Not that I remember. Pretty standard American English, I think. How's my Japanese going? Right now, it's not. Not at all. I'll get back to it again, little by little. Amina says, these days I want to focus on shadowing instead of speaking. Even though the challenge is finished, will it be better for me? Yeah, it's fine if you want to do that. The challenge is done, but do what you want now in your own learning. You can, if you want to do that, do it. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Thank you, Singh. Natalia says, I can't watch Friends TV show. I don't like soap operas. I prefer horror films. Nice. Renal says, I practice speaking after I listen to your mini stories. Does it help? Sure. Yeah, you can retell the story to yourself out loud if you want to. That's, for sure. Oh, this is cool. Somebody says, one amazing experience was talking to Setsuko from Japan, who is 72. She showed me a picture, which meant a lot to me. It took me deep through Japanese culture. I would have never seen this without Effortless English. Yeah, right? So that's cool when you connect with people and have these great, have a nice connection with someone from another country because of English. It's really, really great. So Zobade, that's fantastic. I've done 1 week of shadowing and I can feel my English has improved. That's impressive. A great tool. Says, I can't read it. Sorry. Can't read those letters. I don't know how to pronounce the Cyrillic alphabet. If you're having fun doing what you're doing, continue doing it. If there's no longer fun, consider a change, says Akasi Hamid. Yeah, there's something to that. Because the hardest thing is the motivation, right? To keep motivated. So rather than focusing too much on the perfect method, important is to focus on keeping your motivation high. Just doing something in English every day when you can is great. And the more you enjoy what you're doing, then fantastic. Then that you're going to want to do it. And if you start getting bored with what you're doing, then just switch to something else. Maybe you get tired of listening so much. So just take a break and do a lot of reading, or maybe you're listening to things that are quite serious. Try to find things that are more light. You get the idea, right? You just mix it up as you need to. Kumba says, do you think shadowing can help me improve my pronunciation? Definitely. Yes. Albert Amani says, at the moment, I am watching The Blacklist, an FBI TV show. I love the actor James Spader. Oh, yeah. He speaks beautiful English. Yeah, he has a nice voice. He has a good way of... He's a good speaker. Yes. As you know, I'm into the British accent, but that actor got me. Yeah, James Spader. He does have a nice voice, a nice delivery, way of speaking. Gurjant Singh says, you're the one on earth who motivates people to speak without grammar learning. Yep. Can I watch a film in Netflix? Sure. Okay. Jamila says, since I started learning your shows, AJ, about 10 months ago, my English jumped about 60% higher, and by shadowing challenge, my speaking fluency is much better now. I love watching Donald Trump and Fox News. Nice. Excellent. That's great. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised, Jamila, because you're clearly very, very active. I can tell just by our shows and Gab. So really great. How was the weather in Osaka? Woohoo! You can see I'm wearing short sleeves. Started on May 1st. We have beautiful spring weather. I'm wearing short sleeve shirts now. I love it. So we have fantastic weather now. And Sarah's also asking, what will be the next challenge? I'm addicted because we're addicted to challenges. I don't know. Give me suggestions on Gab if you have an idea. We can always just do listening again or reading or something. But, if you guys have something else you'd like to focus on, we could do a shorter one too. If you have something you want to focus on, but maybe not 3 months, we could do a 1 month challenge. We could do a 2 month challenge. So anyway, tell me what you guys really want to focus on and try to put a lot of hours into. And give me your suggestions, and I'll think about it, and then we'll do another one. Maybe we'll wait. Not in May. You need a break, right? And maybe June or July we'll do one. Okay, a few more. I've got to get going because it's a little late today. My wife needs to get to sleep. She's watching babies. Sunil says, when shadowing, I get tired so quickly by making an American accent. Is there any solution? Well, yeah, shadowing can make you tired. I know. You just stop and just switch to normal listening and let your brain relax. So you can push yourself, try to go a little longer with the shadowing. But once you start really getting tired, you're finding you're getting tired and maybe even bored doing it, then just stop doing it and just switch to normal listening without shadowing. And maybe, little by little, day by day or week by week, you can gradually increase your amount of time doing shadowing. That's what I recommend. And, you don't have to do huge amounts. If you really don't like it, then you don't have to do it at all. It's kind of an optional thing. A lot of people find it useful, and some people don't find it useful and find it stressful or boring or whatever. So if you really don't like it, you don't have to do it, right? You do have to listen. You do have to read. But shadowing is more of an optional thing. Cool. Dominique Raimondo says, many greetings from Warsaw in Poland. I'm still listening to you for 3 years. I understand almost everything when someone speaks English. Thank you, boss. You are the best. That's fantastic. Good for you. Excellent. Excellent. Juan is in Maryland, Hyattsville, Maryland. Not hot yet. Mild 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Nice. Yeah, similar to what we have here. AJ, you look young and handsome after a clean shave. Thank you. Ruslan says, say hello to Kristen and Joe. I'm grateful for their dedication in making them learn real English lessons. Your friendship is an inspiration for us. I will. I was just texting with Joe today, so I'll say hi to him. They're doing well. Both of them are doing fine. I constantly send them baby pictures. Oh, okay. Bertalan, this is a more of this is I like it. Bertalan says, what about being positive about everything for 1 week as a challenge? Tony Robbins suggested this challenge. Now that's kind of an interesting idea. We could do a challenge that's not directly about English. Right? So we don't have to limit ourselves to English. We could do one that's more something like this, more about virtue or psychology or something else, because we've done this before in Effortless English. We did a running and challenge one time. I was training for the Camino and I was trying to do a lot of hours. So I was like, what was that? What did we do? I can't remember the app we used, but anyway. And then we had Kaula, one of our very long time members from Turkey. She was doing gigantic numbers of miles, or I think we counted hours again. I think was she walking or running? I can't remember. I think she was running. And anyway, so we just did one where we just counted to see who could go the longest, I can't remember what it was, maybe 4 months. We just counted up our time running or walking. So it's kind of like a fitness challenge, an endurance challenge. That was fun. I like that. And, of course, a lot of people listened to Effortless English while they did it. So, yeah, Bertalan, that's not a bad idea. We don't have to do one that's specifically about language. And maybe it'd be kind of fun to do one on a quite different topic. Like I'd be open to something with exercise, because spring is usually when I start. Like I always get a bit lazy in the winter and do kind of a very minimum amount of exercise. And then spring usually is when I start getting motivated again. So I'd be open to doing like something with calisthenics, like push-ups or pull-ups. Maybe like a pull-up challenge. That'd be kind of interesting. I think we've done that one time. I'd be open to doing something with walking or running. I would do walking. Or we could do something like this. Bertalan suggested something more like, like instead of, I'd say we want to go at least a month, but like a month of trying to be super positive about everything. Or I don't know. Give me your ideas on Gab, but we'll think about it. Mari says, who cooks and feeds the babies? My wife does cooks, and then but in terms of feeding, we'll both feed them with a bottle because we have twins. So yeah, I feed them too and change their little diapers. What do you think about people who are fasting in the holy month of Ramadan? Says Arun, during the pandemic. Well, what I think is that if you're worried about getting sick, fasting is a really good thing to do. So, good timing. Keep fasting. That's what I would say. Fast. Enjoy the fast because it's a good thing. Fasting's great. Fasting, especially the dry fasting you're doing, really good for your immune system, really good for your body to fight disease. Great. Hey, there's Carol. She says, I didn't count my hours, but I talked to a lot of amazing people in our group. We're slowly building friendships between us and now dreaming of meeting for real. See, that's what's great, right? Because you first build these connections online, and then it's going to start to develop into friendships. And then ideally we meet, right? Like I'm texting with, there's 3 Effortless English members or past members, whatever you want to call them, that I have met in person in Spain that I text with now. Julia's one, she's here today. It's really nice. Exactly. Because when you make that connection face to face, then the connection is even stronger. And then you can it's really nice. Very nice. I agree. I hope we'll do another, some kind of gathering, meeting, social event, probably in Europe. We could do in Japan. If any of you want to come here, let me know. But because that would be super easy for me. But otherwise, Europe. Typically, we do them in Europe. In the past, we always have done them in Barcelona. But I know we have also talked about Rome as another possible location to do one. And we just get, it's usually over like a long weekend, and we just get together and hang out and chat in English, of course, do some sightseeing, go out to eat together. It's really nice, very relaxed, and it's a great way to meet people and connect. So you're also, of course, welcome. You can do this yourself without me right now if you want. If some of you already know each other, see if you can sort of, organize something where you all meet somewhere. It's very nice. Slavika says, now I follow the Q alert. I follow Q, and I know many new things. Yes. Q's great. I'll do another show about Q at some point. There's so much to talk about with Q, but yeah, I agree. Excellent. Glad some of you are following Q. Oh, this is cool. Rowan says, I've just started teaching English with your methods, and they are so natural and effective. Thank you. Great. Good. Good luck to you and your students. Aruna says, when will we be visiting India again? I don't know. No plans yet, but I'd like to. I'll be coming to Japan soon. Well, if you come to Japan, message me, give me some warning a couple weeks before you come, and if you're going to visit Osaka. Happy to meet you for coffee. Jamila says, the Effortless English world is such a specific group, peaceful, loving family. I'm very glad to meet all the members and have the possibility to be part of it. Thank you, AJ, and all of the Effortless English members. Yeah, I agree. It's very nice. I agree. Wonderful. And so it's very nice to meet in person because of that. All right, this is going to be the last one. Last comment. Just kind of going backwards here, looking at the. Okay, let's see. I'll take this one. Muhammad Comedy says, let's see. Learning English. I'm very nervous because some bad things happened to me. I quit from all that because I'm afraid the bad things to me. I'm not. What do you mean by bad things happening to you with English? I mean, I'm guessing that you make mistakes and you feel embarrassed. So I know I mean, I get it. I do understand. I get it means I understand. So someone asked that, I think, a couple weeks ago. What does that mean? I get it. I get it is kind of a casual way to say I understand. I understand. I get it. Same meaning. So I get it. I understand that it feels bad. You make a mistake. You feel embarrassed. Blah, blah, blah. But you just have to learn to relax about it and to not worry about making mistakes, because you will make mistakes. Now you're making mistakes. You're going to make mistakes in the future. I make mistakes. I think at the beginning of the show, I made a mistake. I dropped an article or something. So you're going to make mistakes, okay? You're going to... Oh, in fact, and it's also just normal. Lots of native speakers speak with, we could call it non-standard grammar. And a lot of non-standard grammar is actually very, 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 very common. And therefore, I would say not really wrong. So anyway, you're going to do all of these things. So just don't worry about it. Okay, this is not school. This is not school. You're not in school anymore. Okay, this is the real world. In the real world, English is for communicating and connecting with people, like you've seen with some of these people in the challenge. And that's all. Communicating your ideas, emotions, your thoughts, whatever, and connecting with people. That's it. So it doesn't matter if you make some grammar mistakes as you do that. It doesn't matter. Not at all. So just relax and listen to things you enjoy and chat with people that you'd like. All right, guys, that's all for today. Have a great night. Great day, wherever you are. Lots of love to you. We'll continue with The Hobbit in the next day or two. I have to finish reading the book, but otherwise I'll be back again tomorrow. All right, go to effortlessenglishclub.com. Bye for now.